Hey everybody, once again, this is Amanda with Once in a Wild. Sorry we're starting a little bit late for our special Saturday AM time. It is Saturday, not Wednesday, as you can see and tell. It is 11:05. Let's go ahead and begin. We're here with a very special guest. It looks like we actually are live on Facebook now. Hooray! We had some technical difficulties, so we had to start a little bit late. We'll let our special guest introduce herself right after we begin. So without further ado, let's get started. Hooray! I'm so happy to see all of you out there today. Hello, hello. I don't have any viewers quite yet. Oh, yes, I do. So now it takes about a minute for everybody to start chiming in. We're very sorry for starting about 5 minutes late, but we're doing our very best. Sometimes technical difficulties happen, but we're here with a very special guest right next to me. Her name is Priscilla. And Priscilla, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, happy Saturday to everyone. My name is Priscilla, and this here is Baby Billy Bella Bear, but we'll call her Bella Bear for short. We actually have a story podcast called The Adventures of Baby Billy Bella Bear. And in the story podcast, you are taken on different adventures about Bella's life and the new friends that she meets along the way, as well as you learn a lesson along the way. So different things like manners and, saying please and thank you, things that will take you a long way in life. So they're really good reminders for kids and adults.
Wonderful. I think that sounds like a lot of fun and very family friendly. So how can families find you out there?
Yes. So we are on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Just, type in The Adventures of Baby Billy Bella Bear. But if you want to also follow us on Instagram, we have Bella Bear Goes, and the link to the podcast is there. So that's one way. Also, on Instagram, you can visually follow her daily adventures there on that social platform.
Awesome. I'm going to type in your Instagram handle right now. I'm going to make sure it's correct. Let's see here. Is this the right one?
Bella Bear Goes, yes.
Okay, cool. So everybody go to Bella Bear Goes and hit follow right away so you can give her a follow over there and keep up with what's going on, and also check her out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and whatnot. So that would be a lot of fun. Please show her some support. We're really happy to have you this morning, Priscilla. Thank you so much for being here on this semi-early time on Saturday. It's not too super early, but we're really happy to have you. So what are we here to do today?
Today is actually a live storytelling. So we will be telling a story about Bella's adventure with Once in a Wild. There'll be a couple of friends introduced throughout the story, which Amanda will give us some educational facts on these lovely animals. So I will go ahead and put Bella down so that way she can be comfy and cozy for our story time.
Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about Bella really fast? Just a brief little maybe backstory about Bella herself?
Absolutely. Bella is a Chihuahua, as you can see. She's also 14 years old. So the fun thing about this podcast is that because we've been together for 14 years, is that a lot of these adventures are derived from actual adventures that we've gone on together. They're just enhanced a little, to bring that imaginative factor.
Awesome. I love that. I love stories based on real life.
Yeah, it's fun. Yes. So are we ready?
Are we ready out there? I just see a couple of people watching. Let us know if you're out there. Remember, this is always an interactive event. All of our Once in a Wild broadcasts are. We're always here on Wednesday evenings at 6:32. So as usual, we would love to see questions, comments, anything you want to tell us. If you just want to leave us a fun emoji, that really encourages us while we're live streaming. But that's okay if you want to watch this later as well. For those of you that want to watch this later, it's going to be on Facebook and YouTube for until the end of time, if we can help it. So you guys want to check it out later and ask questions later, I'll do my very best to answer your questions. And I'm sure Priscilla can too about Bella. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I have a couple people watching now, so it looks like people are catching up. How do we get started?
The story, and just to let you know, as I said, Bella is comfy and cozy right next to me. So if you hear any sounds, huffing and puffing, that is Bella Bear.
We forgive her. She is kind of a senior citizen at this age.
Yeah.
It's really awesome that she is that old, and she looks great.
Thank you. Yeah, she's so special, and She does take her senior citizen nap, so you might hear some snoring as well.
I don't blame her. I already take those naps, and I'm only 36 years old. So, but yeah, let's go. Let's get started with our beautiful story.
Let's get started. This story is called Halloween Bash. Once upon a time, Bella was invited to Halloween Bash by Iggy Pop, the guinea pig. She knew every time her pink bag was out, she was off to an adventure. And today was the day. Bella Bear got ready. She put her bandana on and hopped into her bag. Once arriving at Once in a Wild, she was greeted by Amanda, the zookeeper. And of course, Iggy Pop, the guinea pig.
Oh my gosh.
Amanda says, "Hello, Bella Bear. Thanks for coming to our Once in a Wild Halloween Bash. You will meet lots of new furry friends and non-furry friends." Iggy Pop waves hi to Bella. "Hi, Bella." Amanda continues, "I see you were invited by Iggy Pop, the guinea pig. You guys haven't met yet, but Iggy Pop hears some of your adventures on your story podcast and wanted to share our adventures with you here at Once in a Wild." So, do you have Iggy Pop? Is he ready to be camera?
Yes, just like Bella, he's down below, but I will lift him up so you can see him. He's absolutely so adorable. He's got a little bit of bedhead this morning. This is Iggy. He's saying, "Hello, everyone." Iggy is a guinea pig, of course, and he is a special type of guinea pig, just like Bella is a Chihuahua breed. He's a special breed as well. He's called a Peruvian guinea pig from Peru. And guinea pigs are actually domesticated, just like dogs come from wolves. Guinea pigs come from a special animal called a cavy. Some people call them the cooey, which is a fun word. And they're from South America. And what's fun about guinea pigs is they are not pigs and they are not from Guinea. So how did they get their name? Well, it's a long story, but I'll tell you the short version. So in South America, when they were first being discovered and domesticated by the Incas way back when, about 5,000 or so years ago, a long time ago, the Incas, the indigenous people there, were actually domesticating them for food purposes, but then they started becoming pets like a lot of animals do because they're very easy to take care of and they're small. So this is as big as they get. They're kind of tiny, like almost like a potato, but lots of hair on top. But they, of course, look a lot different in the wild too, and I'll get to that in a moment. But they started domesticating them and keeping them in little herds, like little groups together in their villages. And the people that discovered the Americas, right, or came over to the Americas, they came over and saw how neat they were, and they started becoming very popular over in Europe. So they would bring them to Europe and they started selling them for 1 guinea a piece, which is very, very inexpensive. It's like almost like basically 5 cents nowadays, more or less, but very, very inexpensive. So they cost 1 guinea. That's where they get the name guinea. And the part where it says pig, guinea pig, is because of a squealing sound that they make. They can go wee, 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 wee all the way home, just like a pig. So guinea pigs make a lot of noises, but that is their most famous and most probably heard noise most of the time when they want to call each other out and say hello. They will squeal like a pig. So that's where they get their name. Isn't that interesting?
That is so interesting. I think when we were getting ready for the show, I heard, was that Iggy Pop that I heard? And I
Maybe.
thought it was Bella.
They kind of sound like a dog sometimes. They whimper a little bit. They can actually make little purr noises like a cat too. They make all kinds of vocalization. Guinea pigs are very social, just like humans. They live in groups together. They call them herds. And in the wild, they're actually, of course, have short hair, not like this. Just like some dogs have long hair, like Yorkshire Terriers and things like that. He's kind of like a little Yorkshire Terrier, but a rodent version. So these guys are rodents, like rats and mice and squirrels, and all those guys are the same relatives. They're rodents. And in the wild, they have short hair and they're just brown. So in the wild, they blend into the background. They're not white like this and orange.
Wow. So do you have to trim their hair? Does it grow often or?
Not so often, but we do have to trim it a couple times a year at least to make sure that it's not dragging the ground too much. But just like a Yorkshire Terrier or a Schnauzer or other dogs that have to get groomed, Iggy has to get a bath about twice a month. And he also gets his hair brushed at least every 3 days, if not every day. And we do trim his hair when it needs it. So they need a lot of maintenance for a guinea pig.
His hair is so awesome. I love it. How fun.
He's a great party host. I think he would make a wonderful party host for sure. So I'm not surprised that he invited Bella to the party. He's even orange colored, almost like Halloween as well.
Yeah, he was ready for this Halloween bash.
Yeah, he doesn't even need a costume. He's so cute.
Well, Iggy, shall we continue with the story? Okay.
He says yes.
Bella is happy to hear about her new friend and so excited to have been invited to this animal Halloween bash. They begin to walk through a corn maze that was filled with pumpkins, all kinds of pumpkins, big pumpkins, orange pumpkins, small pumpkins, pink pumpkins. It was absolutely cute until something fast ran across Bella and Iggy Pop. It was so fast and almost see-through as it ran across the corn maze path. Bella screams, "Ah, what was that?" "I didn't see anything," Iggy Pop answers. And at that moment, Bella sees the creature quickly run past her again. What was that?" Bella asks. Iggy Pop says, "Oh, that's Ghost." Bella replies, "A ghost? Ah!" Iggy Pop laughs. "No, not a ghost. Ghost, the axolotl."
Oh.
Bella is puzzled. "The what?" she asks. So Bella has just encountered a new friend.
What? Oh my goodness.
And that is Ghost, the axolotl.
Here she is.
Oh,
I knew she was coming. So, you ready to hear about Ghost?
Absolutely. This is an animal I've seen a couple memes on the internet, but I have no idea what they are. So Bella and I are so excited to hear about this animal.
So she's facing you guys right now. She's got her face right there. I know it's a little bit smaller than like Iggy up close, but hopefully you can see her enough. She's underwater, so I can't really lift this and put it over here, but I'm going to feed her her favorite snack. So this is Ghost the axolotl. She doesn't need a costume either because she already looks like a little Casper ghost, which is why we named her that. She has a special color of an axolotl. So let's start from the beginning. Axolotls are from Mexico. They come from one specific place called the Xochimilco River Canal system in Mexico City. They only live there in nature. And in nature, they're actually very dark colored with spots, so they can blend in. That's called camouflage. So just like Iggy's counterparts in South America have brown fur, her species would have brown skin to be able to blend in. That helps them to survive in nature, right? So here is a very special colored axolotl, just like Iggy was. She's white. We call it albino, and she's white like a ghost, which is why we named her Ghost. She kind of floats around in the water and instead of in the air. And she's not a ghost, she's a real animal. And these guys are an amphibian, just like a frog. And they start their life as an egg, and then they hatch out of the egg underwater, and they turn into a tadpole. And a tadpole kind of looks like a worm or a fish. They swim, and they don't have any legs when they're born. And then they start growing legs and growing really cool gills. And that's what you see on the side of her head. She kind of has like hair almost on the side of her head. She'll probably move around so you can see her a little better. They're red, and those red gills help her to breathe underwater. I wish I could breathe underwater, but I just can't. But she lives underwater, so she needs to. I'm going to feed her her favorite treat, which is everybody's favorite animal, a worm. Oh my gosh. So axolotls are carnivores. That means they eat meat. So she's going to eat other animals like fish and worms and bugs, etc. I'm going to feed her a worm right now. So you can see. Look at her go. Look at her float to get the worm, like a little ghost floating. These animals are very special. They also have superpowers, but don't be scared. They're not scary superpowers. She can actually regrow her tail if she lost her tail. She could regrow her arm if she lost her arm. She could even regenerate her organs. Isn't that amazing? These guys are incredible animals.
OMG. Wow.
They're like superheroes of the amphibian world. Do you have any questions about her?
Yeah, okay, so she only lives underneath water.
Yes. But that's okay. She can come to our party in the story anyway.
Yeah. That's the magic of storytelling.
Magic. But naturally, these guys kind of have magic powers too. That's one thing I love about them. They are wonderful animals. Right now, she is eating a worm, and it kind of looks like she has a smile on her face. I wish you could see her a little closer. But if you look up axolotl, like videos and things, they're really cute. And one really special thing about axolotl is they never come out on dry land like a frog does. They're not going to transform into like a frog or a salamander. They're just going to stay underwater. They prefer to stay underneath the water and stay kind of like a baby forever.
Oh,
neat.
How sweet. Wow. So how many like eggs would an axolotl be able to?
That's a great question. They have a lot of them. They can have, I think it's around 200 per time they have babies. So they have a lot of babies at once, but that helps them to survive in nature. That's most frogs and salamanders and all the amphibians. They have tons of eggs and fish too, for that matter, because a lot of them end up being food for other animals. That's just the way it is. So they have a lot of babies to have that insurance on their species. Yes.
How fun.
I'm going to keep feeding her her favorite treats because she's being so cute. Oh my gosh, look at her go. These guys have a very specific scientific name. All animals have a scientific name. Theirs is Ambystoma mexicanum, which means Mexican glutton. So they like to eat all things that come close to their face, and worms are her favorite food.
That doesn't sound too far from a dog like Bella.
Yeah, I was going to say, they also like food like dogs. Dogs like food.
How fun.
What do you
Bella is so excited.
Yes. And she's white too, just like Ghost. Right?
Yeah.
Now, of course, they don't have fur like a guinea pig or a dog. They are mammals. The guinea pigs and the dogs are mammals, and humans are mammals too. We're mammals too, and we have hair. We're warm-blooded. We give milk to our baby as mammals. These guys, not so much. They don't have any hair, but they have white skin as an albino. So she's a special color too.
What other colors can they come in?
That's a great question. In the care of humans, just like with dogs and cats and other animals, they have bred them to become all kinds of different colors. So it's really fun to look up. They can be different colors, like black and white together. They can be really, really dark black. They can be white like this. They can be even lighter, and we call it leucistic, and they have black eyes. They can be more gold colored. There's tons of colors of axolotls nowadays, but all of the ones in the wild look brown, so they can survive better.
Wow.
Ooh, it looks like I have people chiming in. Hello, Alejandro. Nice to see you. And it says Emelise knows how long they wants to know how long they live for, actually. So axolotls, I assume it's about the axolotl, but I'll tell you about Iggy too if you want. The axolotl in human care can live into their 30s. So about 32 is usually their maximum, around then, 30,
Wow.
30, 32. But in the wild, they usually only live to be 10 to 15 years old because they're having to fend for themselves and they have predators to watch out for. So that is quite a big difference, right? These guys are honestly endangered in the wild, so they need a lot of help and protection in the wild. But she doesn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's a great question, Emelise. Thank you for asking. Emelise is actually one of Bella's really good friends.
And look at this. We have another fan as well.
We love the Baby Billy Bearcast. Yes, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Amanda's also a VIP listener of the show. So we're so happy that the show is enjoyed by, you know, kids like Emily's and also adults like Amanda. So it's just a fun time to, you know, get away, listen to a little story. They're up to 10 minutes. So it's just a little relaxation time.
That's awesome. Just like you guys, or just like you, I should say, Once in a Wild is also for all ages too. So it's kind of a fun escape, and lots of positivity and learning and fun time. So very, very similar. And Emily says that's a long time. Yeah, axolotls can live a long time. And also the guinea pig, those guys usually live anywhere from, I would say, 7 to maybe 9 at the most. They're not super long lived, but they are pretty long lived for a rodent species. So a lot of rodents don't live that long, but guinea pigs do.
Wow.
Another question as well about Bella.
How old is Bella and what is her favorite treat? Bella is 14 years old. She'll be 15 in March, and her favorite treat is an apple. She loves apples, and as soon as I bring out an apple to eat for myself, of course, I feel the biggest eyes start staring at me and waddling towards me. This is her favorite snack ever since she was a puppy. So.
She's got kind of a sweet tooth, so appropriate for Halloween.
Yeah, for sure. She also likes cucumbers as well.
Cute. I know a lot of dogs that like carrots and cucumbers and all kinds of vegetables. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, shall we continue?
Wow. So thanks again for telling us about Ghost. This was quite a new adventure for Bella Bear, indeed. Seeing an amphibian like Ghost was a new experience, but she was happy to see that she now has a new friend. Ghost pops out of the corn maze and asks Bella and Iggy Pop to follow him. The three run, and run, laughing as they go. They were almost at the end of the corn maze until they hear, and where do you think you're going? Bella asks, what was that? Iggy Pop answers, that's Joanna, the iguana. But she acts like a troll around here. And now that it's Halloween time, she thinks she's a witch.
Aww.
Bella says, interesting.
I'm getting ready.
Yeah, so we want to see Joanna.
Okay, perfect. I love that you made her a witch. Can I tell you? Does anybody know the movie Monsters Incorporated? Okay, so remember Roz from Monsters Incorporated?
Is she the one with the glasses?
Yes, the lady with she's always watching and judging you all the time. That's Joanna. So I can totally see her costuming as a witch. Please forgive Joanna's appearance right now because she is shedding her skin. So all lizards and reptiles have to shed their skin. But here she comes. She still looks really cool.
Oh my goodness!
Enormous. Joanna is one of our first animal ambassadors here at Once in a Wild. In fact, we've had her in our care even way before Once in a Wild was ever an imagined thing. Joanna is at least 14 or 15 years old, so she's around Bella's age too. She's kind of middle-aged for this species, though, to answer your question ahead of time about how old they live. This type of lizard can live into their 20s, just like, well, ghosts can live longer than that, but around that. And that is only in human care as well. Out in the wild, they usually live about 15-ish. But we don't really know her exact age because Joanna is actually a rescue animal. And Iggy is actually a rescue animal too. It's really important to rescue instead of buying animals when you can. It's nothing wrong with buying animals when you have to. But sometimes animals need homes and we rescue them. So a lot of times people adopt an iguana as a baby, and they're super tiny and cute and very manageable as a baby. And then they grow into a giant iguana. Wow. And a lot of people don't want them anymore, which is really sad. So you have to do your research to figure out if you're ready for that kind of long commitment because they live a long time, number one, and also a big commitment, literally, because they're huge animals. Yeah. So this type of animal comes from the same continent as Iggy, and that's going to be South America and Central America sometimes too. And they actually live up in the trees, so they're really good at climbing. She's climbing my hands right now. Iguanas are amazing at living up in the trees. We call that a very special word called arboreal, like the Spanish word árbol. Arboreal means up in the trees. Ghost, of course, is aquatic. She's underwater. And Iggy, terrestrial, on the ground. But Joanna is arboreal, like I said. They climb really well. They're huge lizards, but they only eat vegetables. They don't eat any meats at all. They don't eat bugs. They don't eat any of that. They eat the leaves of trees and flowers and fruits. Aren't they amazing?
Wow.
Now she's settling down.
How much does she weigh?
How much does she weigh? Good question. I think she weighs around 2 kilograms. Last time I weighed her, she might weigh a little bit over 2 kilograms now. So that is pretty average for a female iguana, but a male iguana can be twice this size. So they're quite a handful, but she's a girl.
Wow. It's just crazy to see, that she's this big and that she could live in a tree. Can you imagine looking up in a tree and seeing Joanna?
Absolutely. if you guys have ever traveled to Cancun or anywhere in Mexico that's tropical like that, you'll see lots of iguanas. There's different species of iguanas all over Central America and South America. And they climb trees really well, but might come down to the ground sometimes. And they even swim really well too. So they're kind of all over the place.
Wow. Almost as big as Bella, if not the same size.
Yeah, I think she's she's a little bit lengthier and everything. So iguanas, I do want to emphasize again that they don't make good pets. You might be seeing Joanna and thinking, oh my gosh, I want a pet iguana too. You don't. They're very, very hard to take care of. They need a lot of special care. And they have to live outside most of the year. So if you don't have a great big outside cage that you can keep them in or enclosure, it's really not a great idea. They're also kind of dangerous. So she is definitely an appropriate witch in the story.
You know, Amanda, I like that you brought up doing your research before you get a pet. And also, if you can, try to rescue any, whether it's an iguana or any other, like a dog. Bella is actually, I'm her third home, and we rescued her at 6 months old. And episode 1 actually talks about, being a responsible pet owner. So that's just very important. And it goes across the board, from dogs to iguanas to any pet you decide to get. It's very important that you evaluate your time and, your space and really see if you're ready to make the commitment.
Absolutely. That's so very important to talk about. We love to talk about that as well at Once in a Wild. And here at Once in a Wild, we're very passionate about pet care too. So dogs are a big part of our life too. We have 3 dogs. We have 2 border collies and 1 schnauzer. We always like to encourage everybody to adopt instead of shop. It's okay to shop sometimes, like the responsible breeders and things like that are perfectly fine. But a lot of animals do need homes, and a lot of animals come to us looking for homes because we can take care of them properly. We're actually Iggy's 3rd home too.
Wow.
Yes. And he's never going to leave now. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah. So Iggy really resonated with Bella after.
Yes, indeed. And Joanna too. Joanna, she's been with me for 10 years, so we're very attached to her too.
Wow.
Yeah. So here's some questions. I can't highlight them right now, but I will in a minute when I set Joanna down. I got my hands full with an iguana. Ricky says, how do you know it's a girl or a boy? I assume you're talking about maybe the iguana. So an iguana, they're actually very easy to tell when they're adults. So the problem is when people adopt them when they're tiny babies, you can't tell the difference. They all look exactly the same. But in about 3 to 4 years, they get about this big or bigger. Sometimes if they're males, it doesn't take very much time for them to grow up. It's anywhere from 3 to 5 years with proper care. So needless to say, in 5 years, you'll be able to tell. The males are about twice the size of a female. She's a girl. So imagine a lizard twice the size. They're enormous.
Wow.
Males have huge fat cheeks with big circles. See her circle on her cheek right here by my finger? That's just a big scale. The male has a circle right here that's way bigger. Males also have a lot of attitude. They are very, very territorial. They are sometimes a little bit cantankerous and aggressive. Like I said, a lot bigger. So it's really the size difference once they reach their adult size. So you can tell very easily. If you saw another one that was a male next to her, you'd be like, oh yeah, I can tell. So it takes a little bit of experience to tell, but you can. They're definitely a dimorphic species, which means you can tell the difference between the two. Pretty neat.
That is so neat.
Did you have any more questions about Joanna? She's an amazing lizard.
I don't. It looks like she's smiling, and Ghost is back there too. It looks like she's posing as well.
They're so cute. One of my favorite facts about iguanas is even though they are just herbivores, they're very tough. So iguanas protect themselves really well with lots and lots of weapons. They have spikes on their back, which can spike a predator in the face or in the foot if they're being grabbed. Their main predator is actually birds of prey, so like hawks and eagles and things in the trees. Makes sense. And they have sharp, razor sharp claws, some of the sharpest claws in the animal kingdom, sharper than cat claws. They can scratch. And they also have teeth to bite. And they also have a big tail. I'm going to stand up so you can see her tail a little bit better. It's really long. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And that tail is very strong, and they can whip their enemies like that too to stay safe. So they're a very tough lizard. They're also covered in scales like all lizards are.
Wow. She's a tough cookie, and that's why she's the witch in the story.
Yes, I love it. And she's
oh, she's cute. I would have never thought to think an iguana is cute.
She's awesome. I love her. There we go.
Shall we get started, Joanna?
She says, I don't care. Her personality. She says yes.
So Bella thinks this is interesting about Joanna, and Ghost suggests, let's give her a treat, then she'll let us pass. So Bella is always prepared with snacks tucked away in her hanky. So she hands Bella a snack. So she hands Joanna a snack. Joanna says, thank you, my dear. You are now ending the corn maze and on to the next Halloween activity. They run and discover the next activity is painting pumpkins. Ghost explains, I may not have much color on me, but doesn't mean I don't like colors. Let's paint some pumpkins. Rows and rows of pumpkins sit on top of tables, along with paints and paintbrushes, and crafts and glue to decorate in the most creative way you want it. Bella says, I'm not sure how I want to decorate my pumpkin. You can paint it like us. Hidden voices are heard. Bella asks, who was that? And before you know it, two ferrets hop on the table and roll a pumpkin in front of Bella. As they jump around it, we did, say the ferrets. Paint us. Iggy Pop laughs and says, that's Loki and Thor, our ferret friends. So here we are. We have another once in a wild animal that has entered the story, and it's the ferrets.
All right. Shall I go retrieve a ferret so we can meet one? Are you ready?
Yes, we're so ready.
I'm going to step off screen. Ghost will stay here and take over. And you're more than welcome to. Why don't you tell everybody where you can find your podcast once again, and I'll be right back.
Sounds good. So everyone, thanks again for joining in here with us on this virtual storytelling with the adventures of baby Billy Bella Bear. You can actually listen to other stories told by Bella and myself on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And if you want an easy, quick link to get there, you can always find Bella on Instagram. And that's going to be at Bella Bear Goes. And there on the bio profile section, you'll see a link to get you to either Spotify or Apple Podcasts. So we have fun. We've been having fun each week with different adventures and different learning lessons on the adventures of baby Billy Bella Bear. So we're excited to connect with you if we haven't already. And for those who tune in each week and listen, thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys.
Are we ready to meet our crazy ferret?
Absolutely.
Here he comes. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Is this Loki or Thor?
Well, this is Loki because he's so dark colored. If you saw Thor, you would understand. He's white, just like Ghost. But I figured we would bring a dark colored ferret because we met a light colored axolotl. So this is Loki the ferret. He is really super cute, and ferrets are carnivores. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. And I didn't even know they were this big.
He looks huge on camera, but he is actually an extra large ferret. He comes from really, really special bloodlines that we actually did a lot of research and tried to find the healthiest ferrets that we could. And we found a really awesome woman who, that's all she does. She specializes in very, very healthy ferrets that she actually breeds. And it's pretty amazing. I didn't even know that was a thing. And they are super robust, healthy. They eat raw meat for a living. I mean, they're almost like a wild animal. So we're really happy to have these special ferrets. They're about 1.5 years old, both Loki and Thor are. And ferrets of this type can actually live to be about 10 or 12, but some ferrets only live to be about 7. So it just really depends on their health. and they're breeding and things. Yeah. So it's really, like, again, more pet responsibility. Of course, always adopt when you can. If you are looking for a ferret, ferrets make good pets, rather. They're domesticated too, like the guinea pig. But it's always important to do a lot of research because they're very high maintenance. They're super messy. They smell really bad and stinky. So if you're ready for that kind of commitment, go for it. But we recommend adopting ferrets because there's many ferrets that need homes. A lot of people adopt ferrets and they don't want them anymore because they weren't ready for all of that mess and commitment and things. So there are some that need homes. So I recommend that first before you shop for one.
Wow. Hair, I was about to say, like, the fur looks so nice.
Yes, he's super healthy. This is his winter coat. Even though we don't have much of a winter here in San Antonio, Texas, he still instinctively and his body will just kind of go into that winter mode. And that's what happens in the wild. So this species is actually comes from the European polecat, which is a type of weasel found in Europe. And that animal will go through a very cold winter, right? In Europe, they actually have real winter with snow and everything. And they will grow this long coat. They will actually double their body weight too. That's why he looks so big right now too. He's in winter weight. So right now he weighs about 5 pounds. He's a big ferret. And usually he weighs about, I would say 3 to 4 pounds. He's still a big ferret, but he gained at least 1.5 pounds for the winter time, even though we're not having much of a winter here, but that's what they do naturally. They're going to grow longer hair and grow a little fatter during the winter so they can survive.
Yeah. Look at how active he is.
They are super active. So that's why I had to go retrieve him because he makes a lot of sounds in his traveling kennel. He wants to run around and play, and he's always playing in there too. Ferrets need a lot of exercise as well. They can't just stay in an enclosure all day. That's not okay for them. They have to come out and play at least 4 to 5 hours a day.
Wow.
And they have each other to play with as well. It's always best as well to have 2 ferrets. They can have friends. Pretty neat.
Do they play along with dogs? Or does that just depend on the,
Exactly. It's going to just depend on the dogs. It's going to depend on the ferrets. We never, ever recommend leaving them unsupervised. Both dogs and ferrets are predators. So both of those animals could potentially, there could be accidents that happen. Depending on the size of the dog, too. Little dogs may be a little bit more vulnerable to ferrets. Ferrets are very capable predators. They're almost like little badgers. They're related to badgers and wolverines, too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're all in that family. So the family, we call it the mustelid family. It's a fancy science word too. But it's the weasel family. So weasels, badgers, wolverines, minks, otters too. Those swimming versions of the ferret, they're all related. Neat, huh?
So cute.
He's so messy right now. He's getting all up in his snacks. So right now I'm feeding him his favorite treats, just like we brought treats for Ghost. We brought treats for Loki, and it's chicken flavored baby food. And he really likes it.
That's fun.
Yeah. So we do have some questions. I'm going to see if I can answer them while I handle this wild beast. It says, what are some of her favorite snacks? I imagine that's about Joanna. Joanna's favorite snacks are hibiscus flowers. Those are her favorite foods. But she also pretty much likes everything that I feed her. All kinds of salad, fruits and vegetables. And she even likes tortoise pellets, which are kind of like a biscuit. She really seems to like those too. So those are some of her favorite snacks. Amanda says, so cute. Thank you. And Tanja says, hi, Tanja. Says, you're the Beastmaster. Yeah, I am. Like Kodo and Podo from Beastmaster. Those are 2 ferrets too.
Oh my gosh. She's really
cool. Now, they do not have retractable claws like a cat. Some people ask me that sometimes because you can see his paws a lot of times on these programs. Their claws are out all the time, just like a dog's paws. Claws on their paws. Yeah. So silly. But yeah,
I'm so amazed by all these animals. I'm like, oh, this is so fun.
Now, ferrets are also terrestrial, living on the ground, but they're also subterrestrial. They go underground to stay safe and to live and to sleep. Speaking of the wintertime, they don't hibernate, so they have to survive all winter long and eat all the foods all winter. So that's partially why they grow a long coat and gain weight during the winter. They don't hibernate. Right. So feel free to continue if you would like to continue our Halloween bash story.
I will. So cute. I can't get over it. Okay, so Bella thinks, okay, so Bella says, thanks Loki and Thor, Amanda. I didn't know much about these cute creatures, but now I do. Here is my ferret pumpkin creation. Bella turns her pumpkin around to show Loki and Thor. You like it? Loki hops on the pumpkin and Thor runs around it. Iggy Pop explains that means they do like it. And all of a sudden, the two ferrets at the very same time hop on the seat that Bella was sitting on and launch her into the air. Wow, says Bella. And before you know it, she is lifted even higher in the air by a bird.
You're not a bird.
No. So next in the story is a bird named Pikachu. It's another great animal that Once in a Wild has. You guys who are new, I have some viewers from my end, so thank you again for tuning in. But Once in a Wild is a really, really great resource to, meet different animals and learn about them. I think that's the most important thing as we talked about before, for children and adults. It's just a family-friendly place to learn about new animals. As you see, I've been so amazed by them all today.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the compliment. Yeah, we do our very best. And if you don't mind, I'm going to clean up a little bit after that messy ferret.
Yeah, no problem.
So we're all hand washing experts these days, so I wash my hands quite a bit. And we're ready for our last animal, I suppose. But yeah, so Pikachu the bird, huh? Let's see.
The bird has just lifted Bella into the air.
Oh my goodness.
Throughout the Halloween Bash rounds.
Let's meet her. Okay. Come on, Pikachu. It's your turn. Here she is. Woo!
Adorable. Yellow like Pikachu.
Is a flying bird, and this is called a cockatiel. That's her species. But cockatiels are types of parrots. Parrots are all kinds of different birds, right? There's great big giant parrots like macaws and maybe like Amazon parrots and things like that. Macaws are the biggest parrots. People know them because they have that long tail, a really big beak. Macaws are really colorful. There's different species of them. They come in different colors. Macaws are from South America too. But parrots come from all over the world almost. That's something that birds do as well. They use the restroom a lot. You just saw an example of that. And she's a cockatiel. So cockatiels are found all the way in Australia. So we met animals from South America today. We met animals from Mexico. The ferret is naturally found in Europe. But now we're going all the way to Australia. Did you think you would world travel today? Well, this bird is found all over Australia. In the wild, they're a different color too. This is another special color. We're having a theme today. Everybody's got their colored costumes on, I guess, for the party. But this is a yellow color, obviously. That's why we call her Pikachu, because she looks like Pikachu, the Pokemon, right? But out in the wild, they're going to be gray. They have orange cheeks too, just like she has, but they're gray colored all over, and they have a little bit of white on them too.
So adorable.
She is so friendly and sweet. She's one of our favorites here, just like Iggy. He's super friendly and sweet as well. Great animal ambassadors. And all parrots have a lot of things in common with each other. So all parrots are birds, right? They're covered in feathers. Birds also lay eggs. Birds don't have any teeth like we have. They have a beak instead, right? And birds even have scales. Did you know that birds have scales?
No, I didn't.
Do you know where their scales are?
No.
They're on their feet. If you take a look at a bird's feet, all birds' feet have little scales. It's really hard to see because her feet are so tiny and cute. But her feet are covered in scales, just like a reptile like Joanna the iguana. That's crazy to me.
Wow.
Yeah. And then parrots have special features too. So she's a bird, but she's also specifically a parrot, and even more specifically a cockatiel, right? Cockatiels are just tiny parrots. They're related to cockatoos, which is a big version of a parrot too. But parrots have a few things in common. Like I said, their beak is curved like this, like a C shape, and it's very strong. And the reason they have such a strong beak is to crunch open nuts and crack open nuts and eat them. And they can also eat seeds and things too. She's eating some special treats today. But in nature, they would eat seeds and nuts and some other vegetables. This is another herbivore eating just vegetables like Joanna and Iggy. Another feature of all parrots is they have kind of an upright stance when they're not bending over eating like she is. But when they're resting, they kind of sit up straight. And that's kind of unusual for birds. Most birds kind of at least sit forward a little bit. If you think about a toucan versus a toucan sits forward, kind of like this shape across, and a parrot will sit upright, almost like a person. So that's another feature. And then one more thing that they share in common is their feet. We talked about their scales. That's all birds have scales on their feet. But parrots have 2 toes pointing forward and 2 toes pointing backward instead of 3 in the front and 1 in the back like most birds. So their toes are a little bit different. We call that a fancy word called zygodactyl, toe placement, but that helps them to have a really, really strong foot. They can climb with their feet up in the trees, and they can also use their foot to eat like a hand. Have you ever seen a big parrot pick up a piece of food and eat it like this? Not every bird can do that. If you pay attention to parrots and they're eating, you'll see that next time. She doesn't do it that often, so she's just lazy, I guess. But they'll pick up food like a nut or something like that. They'll grab it and they'll pick it up and eat it just like a foot hand. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing. It was like Pikachu went.
Wow, personality. So did you launch Bella into the air? Oh my goodness. What happened?
Yes. So Bella is flying in the air thanks to Pikachu. And all of a sudden, Pikachu then drops Bella off in a seat that gets pushed forward. It's dark. It's quiet. She even hears some creaks. Bella is a little frightened. She knows it's Halloween and she might get spooked easily. But then she remembers she's with friends. And then a spotlight. All of Bella's animal friends from the day were on a stage. It was Iggy Pop, Ghost, Joanna, Loki and Thor, and even Pikachu, and many other animals from Once in a Wild. They performed the Monster Mash and even invited Bella up on stage to dance.
Aww.
Bella barks. It was such a fun day for Bella Bear. A Halloween bash she will never forget. And she learned so much about her new animal friends. Bella says to the animals while dancing, "Thank you, guys. I had a fun adventure with Once in a Wild." The end.
Yay! What did everybody think about the story? I sure did love it. And thank you for featuring all of our animals. I can just picture them doing all of the Monster Mash together. That's so cute. There she is. Look at Bella.
She was napping.
Tell us a little bit about Bella, how you adopted her, what happened. I want to know everything.
So actually my mom's friend from work was leaving and she, couldn't take Bella. So we went, I was like begging my mom for a dog. And so we went to go see her, and Bella, as you guys can see that pink and white polka dot bag, when I went to go meet her, she was in that bag. And that bag's kind of like her security blanket. So it was kind of meant to be, she became really comfortable with me, even coming out of her bag. And we were best friends ever since. So we got her here from San Antonio, where we're from. But at the time I was going to school in Austin, Texas. So she was definitely, my little buddy while I was going to college. So it's just me and her. So she's been on many adventures. For the past 2 years, she was living in Los Angeles with me. And she became a beach bunny, like a beach babe for sure. So she, as long as she sees a bag, her pink bag, she gets really excited and she jumps in and she's ready to go. She's ready to go for any adventure. Even if I put on a t-shirt or a dress, some kind of clothing on her, she automatically runs to the door because she thinks, oh, we're getting ready to go.
Oh, that
Yeah.
sounds so good. Like she has such a good home, and I'm so happy to hear that. Pets are so important in our lives, not just wild animals and animal conservation and all the things that we talk about too, and just teaching you guys about all kinds of species. We love to talk about pet care as well. And that's something we do here at Once in a While too, just so everybody knows. We do pet care consulting as well. So I've kind of been doing that a long time. So any questions that you may have, please feel free to contact me at my number down below. Yeah, but she sounds like she has a great home. That's so great. And she's gonna have a forever home, obviously, with you, just like we try to get our animals too.
For sure. And, thanks to my parents for always helping me, because it's like when I first got her in college, if I had a crazy week with studying, she would come back to San Antonio and be well taken care of thanks to her grandparents. And even when I moved to LA at first, I couldn't take her with me, but my parents took really good care of her. So she loves her grandparents, and we thank them so much for always being there. But yeah, she has a really great home. She's super loved. She's falling asleep again. But
yeah, comfortable and relax in her home. It's really important to socialize your animals too. So I'm glad you brought up that as well. We like to talk about how dogs, unless you're a single person by yourself all the time, in that case, you should socialize your dog by getting out when you can safely, right? Not this year, I guess, but maybe soon. And socialize your dog as much as you can if they are, social, dogs and want to be out. But it's important to do that with like a new puppy and things like that, so that way they get used to other people instead of just you. Dogs are not just for like a kid. They're not toys. They're not good gifts to give if somebody's not prepared. You also always want to socialize them with the whole family. It should be a family affair, like most pets should be, honestly. Yeah. So pets are not toys, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And the one thing about Chihuahuas is that they're very, I think you mentioned this about, I think it might have been Iggy Pop or one of the animals at the beginning, is that they're very sociable with their own, kind. So Chihuahuas are very clanny, and they like to, I noticed that with Bella. As soon as she gets near another Chihuahua, she's like more relaxed and more excited. Because if we take her to a dog park, she runs to the gate to try to get out. But if there's another Chihuahua around, she'll smell them and be comfortable. But with other dogs, she's like, no thanks.
She's allowed to do whatever she wants at this point.
Absolutely. Yeah, we kind of just cater to her. Amanda, I wanted to, for some of the listeners of our Bella Bear podcast, who are tuning in to Once in a While for the very first time, I wanted them to get a little lowdown of what you guys do with Once in a While.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for asking. So Once in a Wild is a mobile zoo here in San Antonio, Texas, and we cater to surrounding areas as well. So just let us know if you're interested. But we actually bring the zoo to classrooms. We bring the zoo to parties and events. We can bring them to your office. We've done that a few times as well. It's really fun to kind of change your daily routine by having some animals at your office. It's always fun. Really, any event can be supplemented with animals, big events, small events, all the things. Right now, we're staying safe with precautions and things like that, but this won't be forever, right? So when things are back to normal, please give us a call if you're interested. We're very educational, but we're also therapeutic. We have animals that are suited for animal therapy, like Iggy. He's a really good example, and even some of our other exotic animals too. We mostly have exotics, but we have a few domestics like a rabbit, and we have guinea pigs too that are great for handling and touching and giving you a great positive experience with animals. But that's exactly what we do. And now we're also virtual. Thanks to the times at hand, we have gone virtual. We decided not to close this year. We decided to keep going, but have virtual options as well. So every single Wednesday, just to let everybody know, we do a free live stream event every single Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Central. So that is a fun way to kind of check us out and get some information about our animal. But we also offer Zoom room animal encounters, all kinds of virtual encounters that are basically custom and private to your group or just by yourself. And you can pick the animals to meet, just like here with all of our animals. We'll be in the studio or outside, depending on the encounter you choose. And you can select the animals that you meet for the hour or however long you want to be with us. But we also want to make sure and emphasize that we're back in action again in person. If you have a classroom that needs some animals, all the classrooms need animals, in my opinion. Please let all your teachers and parents and kiddos and everybody know about us. They're very, very great for supplementing science and all kinds of learning and just for fun. Honestly, it's for adults and kids alike. So that is what we do. We're very, very custom. We have lots of animal options. We have creepy crawlies, we have reptiles, amphibians, we have birds, we have mammals, a little bit of something for everybody. We like to do that too. And we have over 70 animal choices. So you never know who you're going to meet here on the show as well as in person. And you can find us at onceinawild.com as well as on Facebook and YouTube, as well as we have Twitter and Instagram as well. And all the links are down below for you guys. So super easy to find.
I love that. Especially, like it's for classrooms, but also for offices.
Adults love it. Yes, absolutely. Adults love it. And it's all the same hourly rate. Just call us for more details and we'll get you guys scheduled. We're filling up all of October right now. So please let us know if you're interested. It'd be a lot of fun for everybody.
Yes. I'm so glad that you guys, continued going with what you're doing because it really brings a lot of joy to everyone around. So good for you guys at Once in a Wild.
Thank you. Yeah, we're a brand new business, so that was kind of hard when this year happened. But we didn't want to give up, so we just changed. That's how a lot of businesses are doing nowadays.
Yeah.
And thank you as well for shining a little bit of positivity, especially this year. We really need it. How long have you been doing your podcast?
I just started a couple months ago. I mean, I've had the concept in mind for about a year. But with all the hoops and whistles of life, I never got around to fully, finishing, but this was a great opportunity to finally do so. So I think it was just right at the right moment, right time.
That's awesome. I think everything happens for a reason. So I think you're right. Well, Pikachu's falling asleep too, just like Bella.
Oh, she's so cute.
She's the best bird on the planet. Yeah. So we have some very sweet comments, and I guess we can say goodbye whenever you're ready.
Yeah,
Tanja really liked the story. She says, what a cute story. Hi, Tanja. She's one of our favorite people on the planet as well. Amanda says, love the story. Thanks, Amanda.
Thank you, Amanda.
Used to have one named Rocky. Is that a cockatiel? What kind of bird or what kind of animal rather was Rocky? I bet it was like a bird. Precious. Thank you. Oh, yep. Ricky says, tell all your schools. I already said that, but yes, please tell the schools. We are definitely specialized in education. So, and we can cater to, kindergarten all the way through college if we need to, and adults too. We're really great for also nursing homes and things like that, bringing a little bit of animals to people that maybe need a little cheering up right now. Right now it's a little difficult, but hopefully soon we can get back in there with hospitals as well for animal therapy. We love doing that. Any events coming up? Let me think. Yes, we do. And we'll make sure and stay tuned to our social media to keep up with what Once in a Wild is doing. How about yourself? Do you have anything else new coming up?
No, just the finale of our Adventures of Baby Billy Bella Bear will be next week. This coming week, our season finale. So, they're all the episodes 1 through 4 are, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts if you want to catch up before the season finale. If not, they'll always be there. So definitely tune in whenever you have a chance.
Yes, and we have events coming up as well. We're so very excited to be in person for some of our events again, just to let everybody know. We have a Halloween event coming up, which is a public event, and we have one the previous weekend from before Halloween as well. Please stay tuned to our social media and our website, onceinawild.com, for further details so you can find out where that's going to be. It's here in San Antonio. We're super excited. It's going to be a little strange being out there again, but it's okay. We're happy to be there. We're happy to be back in schools, like I said, too.
Definitely.
Just stay tuned. That's the best thing you can do. Also, we do have one coming up on the 17th, I believe. But again, for all the details, the best thing you can do is just follow us. Follow both of us. Go do that right now. Follow her on Instagram and check out her podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, I suppose. And give us a follow on YouTube here. If you want to rewatch the video or you came in a little late, you can watch it again from the beginning if you like. I recommend checking that out. And that's going to be over on our Facebook. I'll also send Priscilla a copy as well in case you want to post that somewhere too. You guys have been fantastic. Oh, it was a bird. Amanda said she had a bird named Rocky. I guess it was a cockatiel. Cockatiels are fantastic birds to be around. And you're welcome, Amanda. Thank you for watching the whole thing.
Thank you, Amanda, for all your support.
Okay, you guys. Did you want to say anything else to the fans out there before we say goodbye?
No, just a big thank you. And remember to take a deep breath and smile and just find the things that bring you joy. So whether it's tuning in once in a while or even the adventures of baby Billy Bella Bear, everything will be okay.
That is wonderful advice. We're all in this together. We're going to be okay. Everybody breathe, like she said. And thank you so much, Priscilla, for being here. I'm going to play our end credits and we'll say goodbye. Bye, everybody. You're welcome. We'll see you next time, everyone.
Bye.
We are nothing close to ordinary, but we love to be your friend. Hold our hands and let's have fun together, singing as loud as you can. Everybody singing once in a while. Together. Once in a while. I wanna hear you say once in a while. Never long forget you.
Okay, everybody, thank you so much once again. We'll see you next time here at Once in a Wild, and please check out Priscilla's podcast as well. Information down below. We'll see everybody next time. Bye.
Bye.